Grace and peace to you from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Today our text is about Jesus sending out the 12. I've subtitled my sermon, From Information to Compassion to Mission. Let's start with information. Jesus saw the crowds, that they were harassed and helpless. That was the information that Jesus was working from. He had first-hand information. He didn't dismiss the information. He didn't simply place the blame on someone else and walk away, but it moved him to compassion. Information about suffering should lead us to compassion. There's a story about signs along the side of the road. There were signs, and the person driving in the car read the first sign, and it said, "The end is near." The next sign said, "The end is near. Change your direction." The next sign said, "Last chance. The end is near." And in the person's resistance to what he thought was some religious fanatic talking about the end of the world, he continued at full speed and sped right off where the bridge was missing into his death. Anyway, he didn't believe the information. He wasn't changed. He didn't have compassion. He didn't turn around and start his mission. He died because he wouldn't believe the signs. About compassion, Jesus was moved to act, and his mission was expanded as he sent out the 12. Someone said during this pandemic that only 100,000 lives are lost in America. That's 100,000 out of 328 million. That's not very many. And then I think about Jesus. Jesus feels compassion when a single sparrow dies. He said that we're worth more than many sparrows. If a single sparrow brings sadness to the heart of Jesus, what about more people dying in a few months than all the American soldiers that died during the Vietnam War? This compassion dissolving into apathy is like the sound of horns from the trains that pass through our town. I seldom hear them anymore. I hear them when I'm recording on YouTube, and I hear them when it's really quiet in the middle of the night. The trouble with this pandemic is that the compassion that is meant to move us into action is rightly suppressed. As the signs on the highway say, stay home and save lives. When we suppress this natural reaction to go and to move on from our knowledge to compassion to action, when we suppress that, it's going against our own God-given nature to respond in compassion to the need and be moved to mission. The story about mission. There was a boy that got some information. He heard that some of the children in his classrooms weren't getting any lunch. They were hungry and they couldn't get any lunch because they owed money on their lunch accounts. So he was moved with compassion, went home and got his giant piggy bank, brought it to school and paid the boys lunches, and they were all able to eat. He was moved from information to compassion and then took action and was able to restore those children to their meals so that they weren't hungry anymore at lunch. Jesus' 12 disciples became the 12 apostles. A disciple on a mission is called an apostle. The modern term for apostle is missionary. When apostles return from a mission, they become disciples again. The progression goes something like this. The baptized become disciples, and the disciples become apostles. The progression is believers to followers to people on a mission. Sometimes we're just happy to be baptized. Let somebody else be a disciple. Or we've been a disciple for a long time and we're comfortable in our own shoes with learning and just enjoying the things, the resources and all the benefits of being a Christian. We don't take that move, and we're not moved by compassion to be apostles, to be action in our world, to be on a mission. So for now, stay home as much as possible, but when we are free to move again, go and be his disciples. That is, his disciples on the move, the gospel of the Lord.